Breaking news. Turns out Kamala Harris is a bitch. Didn't see that one coming. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided in order to not be a crying little baby bitch all the time, I just have to keep myself entirely busy. So you're getting another video, yeah, this quickly. And guess what? I got another one coming after this. For some reason, people weren't expecting this kind of news to come out from Kamala Harris. Like, even the left, like the people on the far left who adore her, can they really say that they don't think she's kind of a bitch? That they don't see how she's kind of temperamental when asked very simple, obvious questions that she should know are coming by the media that's completely on her side? Look at how she treats them. Like, what, are you surprised? Are you actually surprised? Or are you in denial?
When are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked... I'm not finished.
Well, 22 staffers have come out against Kamala Harris, claiming like abusive work conditions, and the only thing I really have to say about the situation is I'm surprised people aren't believing it or are shocked. Like, for one, let's just think about the staffers in general. For one, anyone who works in the White House, I feel like it could be very easy and very tempting probably to sell your soul for a story just because it could be such a great headline. I feel like that probably pays pretty well. Number two, what the fuck did you expect Kamala Harris to be like working under when you know like how her campaign went?
To lay off some staff in her Baltimore headquarters and closed offices in New Hampshire. Some of her allies also struggled with the structure of her campaign. Reports in Politico, the New York Times, and the Washington Post detailed how those in and around her campaign didn't have a clear view on who was in charge, what the message was, and who should be running the show. Harris also went all in on Iowa and just didn't catch on with voters to the level that she needed to. She closed offices in other states and tried to turn all of her attention to the first caucus state, but she didn't register with voters there as much as other candidates. Harris's messaging also ebbed and flowed.
Pay attention, people. And third, when you raise a generation, or well, we're working on 2 generations now apparently, 2 generations of people who are completely sensitive and entitled and self-important, what the fuck else did you expect? Did you expect these people to be like level-headed, rational, prepared for the job that they signed up to do?
Is the White House concerned that some vice presidential staffers reportedly feel like they work in a, quote, abusive environment?
Well, I would first note that I try not to speak to or engage on anonymous reports or anonymous sources. I will say that the Vice President is an incredibly important partner to the President of the United States. She has a challenging job, a hard job, and she has a great supportive team of people around her. But other than that, I'm not going to have any more comments on those reports.
Okay.
I don't doubt that Kamala Harris is a bitch, but I also feel like these people are probably giant babies. 22. Even, like, I don't like Kamala Harris, but that's just... There's something wrong with people these days. Like, it could be very easy to pile on Kamala Harris, but and really it's partially her fault because she endorses this kind of sensitive baby, like, fake nurturing bullshit that causes people to be so ridiculously sensitive. But it is these people, I'd say it's probably half and half. They probably literally aren't mentally prepared. They're having mental health issues all the time. Like, can't you just see that? But also, guess what? On top of being very sensitive and self-important, these people are also very, very racist. Because, I mean, if you go against anyone in the Biden-Harris administration, obviously you're racist.
Yes, this is just politics, but this also has a lot to do with the fact that she's a woman of color and a woman, because we know that things that are acceptable from men are not acceptable from women. So the fact that this is being done is really disheartening, but not unexpected.
Right. And isn't it interesting that they go after a black woman? They don't go after a white guy, Joe Biden, as much because Joe Biden looks like the base on the right. He looks like them. So it's hard for them to, like, get mad at him because then they get mad at themselves. You say something like psychological is going on there. And so she doesn't look like the base. So it's easy to go after her. So I don't put much stake in this. I don't think this article means much. It's meaningless.
There's no other reason why you would possibly come out and speak against Kamala Harris. I mean, where's your KKK hood, bud?
Cross won't burn. Nobody home. Hell, it ain't like it used to be.
So now, we're going to talk about one of the biggest stories this week, really. Britney, bitch.
It's Britney, bitch.
So we all know, like, I feel like most of us, if not all of us, have heard about Britney Spears' conservatorship case. Which actually I've been, like, paying attention to this shit, like, fucking closely for, like, 2 years now. And I've actually been a huge Britney Spears fan for, like, 14 years. So literally right before she like went crazy. In 7th and 8th grade, I was so severely bullied for liking Britney Spears so much, which is nuts, and also like I feel like a perfect representation of just like how people were towards Britney Spears for like literally no fucking reason. Because if I was her, if that many men were following me around with cameras while I cried, they'd get ran over. Like they would be dead right now. So the fact that she only shaved her head, like, props to her. Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, like 2 or 3 months ago, they came out and basically like publicly said that they are with the Free Britney movement and want conservatorship reform. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, congressmen talking about Free Britney movement, that shit is honestly amazing.
Well, okay, the 2 Republican lawmakers want a hearing to examine legal conservatorships, and they are using the Britney Spears case as an example. Now, activists say that Spears is being unjustly held in a conservatorship by her father, who is able, by that example, to control her finances. Now, Spears' case is unusual because of how young she was when it was first imposed and how long it has lasted. That's why we have the Free Britney movement. Both Congressman Jordan and Gaetz believe that constitutional freedoms are at stake. They're at stake in arrangements like this that they say can often be opaque, and they want a hearing on whether Americans are actually being unjustly trapped in these types of conservatorships. So Britney Spears is the classic example of what's going on here. Is her interest, her own interest, being best served?
I do think Matt Gaetz is way too optimistic about it possibly bringing together the parties, even if just for a moment, because Democrats are really spiteful. I'm not sure if you noticed. They're kind of spiteful people. Even my daughter Ember is fucking pissed about Britney Spears' lack of medical freedom, her like inability to make her own decisions about her own body and whether she wants to have more babies or not. Ember is like a huge Britney Spears fan, which like I don't let her watch like the raunchy shit. I let her watch like as conservative as Britney Spears gets, which is a very small sampling of what Britney Spears actually does. Like, Ember likes watching interviews of her and, like, watching her as, like, a little kid and, like, on the Disney thing that she was on, the Mickey Mouse... What's that called? Mickey Mouse Club? Is that what that was called? So you know it's bad when, like, even a 5-year-old understands how fucked up Britney Spears is being treated. That phone call that she was on with the judge was... In no way could that have possibly been easy. Like, you could hear her voice shaking when she was talking about some of this shit, and it's so sad, but, like, also, like, I'm so fucking proud of her.
Making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport card, and placing them in a home where they work with the people who live with them. They all lived in the house with me, the nurses, the 24/7 security. There was one chef that came there and cooked for me daily during the weekdays. They watched me changed every day, naked, morning, noon, and night. My body, I had no privacy door for my room. I gave 8 gallons of blood a week. If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. I never had a say in my schedule. They always told me I had to do this.
Which is another reason, like, Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan want reform, is because I didn't know this, but overall in America, that's, like, a very profitable fucking industry to be a conservator to someone, which is pretty fucked. But now, after that whole very public statement, if that's what you want to call it, from Britney Spears, Matt Gaetz and others have written her a letter directly asking her to come in front of Congress and basically explain like her abuse in a conservatorship and just like and use her essentially as an example to get reform, because it's ridiculous. What I mean, I don't think old ladies should be like going around giving birth, and like I don't mean like old, but like late 30s in my opinion is like almost kind of like fucked up to have a kid at, but that is not my choice, and that is the person who wants to do its choice, and that is kind of like what America's founded on, is freedom. So also, if you believe in mandated vaccines, you can't be for free Britney, bitch.
It's Britney, bitch.
You can't be. I can't imagine, like obviously it's such a like a specific scenario, but I can't imagine ever any circumstance that would like enable me and make me want to control my kids at 39 years old, whether they can drive with their boyfriend in the car, what kind of soda they can bring on set, what states they go to, fly to, when they have millions of their own dollars. Like, why the fuck would I do that? To not let her like do this or say that or post this or talk about that. What kind of parent does that? And literally forces them to be drugged and makes sure that someone comes and stays with them until they take their shit that they shouldn't be taking. Like lithium? What? Like forcing her to not be able to get pregnant? That shit's fucking nuts. Medical freedom is a thing. People, like it is a thing.
Oh, I remember telling my assistant, but you know what? I feel weird if I say no. I feel like they're going to come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared, and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes, and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad.
So hopefully she does. Like, I would love to know, like, what you guys think. If you think she should come in front of Congress, I feel like it'd be so hard for her, because you could hear her voice already shaking on that phone call with the judge, explaining all this shit that she, like, pre-written down. So, like, I don't know if she'd be able to go and do that, but if she does, that would be fucking crazy, wouldn't it? I feel like it'd be the right move in, like, so many ways for herself and, like, for society. There's actually a YouTuber who I've been following about the Free Britney movement for like 2 years now, and I think I'm gonna just like link his whole like Free Britney playlist in the description, because it's very informative and talks about a lot of things that like the mainstream media obviously won't talk about, because they never talk about everything in detail like it should be. They never call out the right people, like, ever. If you're interested in the Free Britney movement and like more details, watch it. Like, his personality, honestly, in my opinion, it's like, it's not someone I would vibe with, but the information in it is very fucking valid and honestly well put together. So yeah, check that out. Also, I'm just gonna say it now, free Amanda Bynes, because she's literally in the same fucking boat as Britney Spears was. Her parents put her in a conservatorship at 26, just like Britney Spears, and they take her money and they don't let her drive, just like Britney Spears. So I'm just saying it now. Also, she was probably raped by Dan Schneider, which that's a whole ass other topic, but I've been really considering talking about that, especially since he's like wanting to come back. I think I'm gonna make a video about that sometime soon. So stay tuned for that if you want your entire childhood ruined. Please let me know your thoughts below if you're surprised about Kamala Harris being a fucking cunt, or if you saw that coming. I feel like you guys probably saw that coming. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Free Britney movement, and if you think that like her coming into Congress and speaking directly to them would like do anything for her, do anything for like other people in conservatorships. Do you think it would get anything accomplished, essentially? I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please give it a like, because YouTube fucking hates me and I need all the engagement I can get. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you will be seeing me next time. Bye.